Nationals Party today voted unanimously to ditch net zero by 2050. Leader David Littleproud emerged from a 3-hour meeting to explain the Nationals were committed to reducing emissions, but at a more sustainable rate.
We're not walking away from reducing emissions. We continue to believe that we need to reduce emissions, but we've got to do it in a better, fairer, cheaper way for all Australians. And what we are going to say is that we believe that we can peg ourselves to the rest of the world. We're not going to be a laggard, but we're not going to streak ahead.
Yeah, the decision puts the Nationals on a collision course with their coalition partners who are still deciding their position. Liberal MP and opposition environment spokeswoman Angie Bell said this on Sky News this morning.
We'll go through our processes, which your viewers would understand would be different to the National Party processes, and we'll come to that in due course when we've done the work. I'm not ruling anything out at this point in time, because what we need to be is united on one page when it comes to moving forward with our energy policy.
OK, let's get to what it means for the coalition in a moment.
Okay.
But starting with the Nationals' decision, they've decided they're not climate zealots, so they're not going to charge ahead with reduction of emissions no matter the cost, but nor are they climate deniers. So they've chosen a middle path, right? Here's my problem with that. David Littleproud, as you would have heard just a moment ago, said we need to reduce emissions. So he's not arguing that we don't need to reduce emissions, which begs the question, is there a climate crisis or not? Is global boiling, is the highway to climate hell, as the UN General Secretary called it, is that a reality? Because if it is, then how could you not do everything possible to reduce emissions? If it's not an imperative, though, why are we committed to reducing emissions if it's going to make no difference to global temperatures and if we're not in an existential crisis? That's the part of the Nationals' policy I don't understand. I think this is more political than out of conviction. They've decided in order to be electable, we've got to, give a sop to emissions reduction. So we're still committed to reducing emissions. It's just we don't believe we have to reduce them as a matter of urgency. Well, I just think that's very political, and I'll be curious when we speak to Matt Canavan to find out whether he really believes that or whether that's a compromised position to protect them from the charge of climate denier.
Well, to protect them from being called climate zealots, I suppose. Look, I tend to disagree. I actually think that it is good what the Nationals have done today by taking a proper stand on this, because voters need a distinction. And right now, voters don't have a distinction. It's on this net zero 2050 to the never, never or nothing, really, because the Liberal Party is still dilly-dallying on this issue. And I think that this gives voters an opportunity early. And now the Nationals, and we'll figure out what happens with the coalition as a whole later on, but I think the Nationals now have, a couple of years up their belt to really prosecute this ahead of the next election. This is not something that they're just going to drum up a couple of months out from an election. This is something that they can put to voters. They can sell it, and that's what they need to do, and that's what the Liberal Party are lacking right now. So I actually take a very different perspective, but I do understand your argument. I think that maybe it's because they don't want to be labelled as climate zealots on the world stage.
And I agree, you've got to have a distinction. I mean, if there's no distinction, there's no imperative for people to vote for you. But if the distinction's not based on truth, if it's based on, well, we think this will be electable, I think as we go further in time, they'll find it more difficult to sell. In terms of distinction, it'll be interesting now because the Liberal Party is still deciding their policy. Now, they can't ape Labor's policy, but nor can they now ape the national policy. Otherwise, Murray Watt's comment earlier today on Sky will be...
The idea that you would hand over climate and energy policy to the likes of Matt Canavan and the ghost of Barnaby Joyce is like handing Dracula the keys to the blood bank. Half the National Party don't believe in climate change. The other half just want to wish it away. What they are doing in dragging the Liberal Party to this position is getting in the way of the incredible economic opportunity that transitioning to net zero provides.
So here's the problem the Liberal Party have got, and Murray Watt makes a politically smart point. If the Liberals adopt the same policy as the Nats, then the Liberals will be accused of being told what to do by their junior partner. So that's the problem the Liberals have now got. They need to distinguish themselves from the Nationals in order to maintain their status as we are the ones setting the agenda, not the Nationals telling us what to do.
Well, that's why I just think now more than ever, the Liberals actually have to come out with a policy position on this. They're completely hamstrung by moderates within the party.
Would be good.
A position, something would be good, but now would be the time, because the reality is that this whole concept of net zero is based on a lie. why, James? And this is the reality because, you know, you at home, we were told that our power bills would go down under net zero. And right now, they've gone up by $1,000. We were told that this is the best way to keep the lights on, yet we've got every single heat wave. We're told to limit our energy consumption because the reality is that the grid doesn't cope. We were told that we were going to meet all of our energy targets under net zero, yet time and time again, we're being told that we will not be reaching our energy targets. And it is the farmers, it is the regions that will suffer the most because you've got these transmission lines that are going up also that, you know, Bowen can connect solar and wind to the grid. Prime agricultural land is being carved up. So this whole net zero is built on a lie. It's built on a con job, and yet you've got the Liberal Party doing this hokey pokey. They're half in, half out, left arm, right arm, and really voters need a choice. And I actually think that this will really force the hand of the Nationals have gone with it, One Nation have gone with it, and it's really now just the Liberal Party that are languishing.